Hey guys, Matt from Mr. Matt's Arcade. Um, Today I'm going to show you something that I'm working on, which is a program to help you add games to the AlphaMax 3D game board. So last night I watched a few tutorials on Python programming and SQLite. So I wrote a little Python program, which still needs some work, to walk you through how to add games to make it a little easier. It still involves user input, but you don't actually have to open up the games database and add games manually or run an SQL file like the one I shared in my last video. So let's take a quick look at the games database. So let's see. Table EN, right now we have 10,016 games. Or that was table EN match, table EN, 10,016, and table game, 10,016. So I wrote a little Python program. Here is a quick peek at it. Name of it's going to be AlphaMax 3D Games.db insertion program version 1.0. I'll probably change the name. But here is a brief look at the program. And you'll see in here, here's an insert statement similar to what I had in my last video, as well as another insert statement here and one more right there, so we can insert into those three different tables of the games database that I showed you. So now let's go ahead and run this program. AlphaMax 3D Games.db insertion program version 1.0. Press enter to continue or type quit to exit. So we'll hit enter. Now you would type in your ROM name. So we'll put in Donkey Kong. So dkong is the ROM name. Display name, we'd want Donkey Kong. File format is your file extension. So this is a MAME ROM that I'm putting in, so it's .zip. Emulator number. You can refer to a cheat sheet that I shared at the other one, or I'll make a new one. But anyways, emulator 18 is MAME 2010. Hit enter. File path is where your game is stored. The arcade ROMs are stored in SD card game CPS. Is it a 2D or a 3D game? It is a 2D game. Is it a vertical game? Yes, Donkey Kong is a vertical game, so you put in 1. 1 equals yes, 0 equals no. Search name. So it would be capital D, then lowercase d, o, n, k, e, y, k, o, n, g, all one word. Hit enter. Insert operation OK, insert operations OK, insert operations OK, connection closed. And here we could either quit or you could add an additional game. So we'll go through and add an additional game, and then we'll check the database to show you how it worked. So enter to continue, and we will add Galaga. Display name, Galaga. File format, again, it's a MAME ROM, so .zip. Emulator number, we'll do MAME 2010 again, which is 18. File path, same as before, SD card slash game slash CPS. It is a 2D game, so we put in 1. Vertical game. Galaga is also a vertical game, so you put in 1. Search name is capital G, lowercase Galaga. Hit enter. Alright, said everything was inserted correctly again. So let's exit this program and we'll type quit. Program closed. Goodbye. Alright, now minimize that. Minimize that. And then I have my games database file open. So we'll go ahead and refresh it. Now we're in, let's start with table EN. This again is your display name. So let's go down to the bottom. Oh, there we go. We have 10,017 Donkey Kong, 10,018 Galaga. Let's go over to EN Match. This is your search name. And the format for this, like I mentioned in my other videos, is capital letter first, and then the whole name in lowercase. So we got 17 is Donkey Kong, 18 is Galaga, and then we go over here to table game, and let's scroll down to the bottom. All right, 2017 is Donkey Kong. As you can see, it added the correct game ID here. There is your ROM name, your file format, which is or extension, which is .zip, the correct number again for the video, and then I had it put in a couple of default values that later on we could add those or change them if we wanted to. But for class type, I put in a 0. 18, there's that game number, emulator number that you put in. Hard defaulted to 0. Here is the path that we put in, SD card /game/CPS. Mode was 2D or 3D. Category, I had it default to 0. Favorite, default to 0. Visibility, default to 1. Lives, default to 5. Vertical, we said yes to vertical, so it put a 1 in there. Coin time, it defaults to 0. Player's coin defaults to 3. Hide save state defaults to 0. DELF SPATH, it's just left blank. And then at the end here, the EN match, SP match, and ZH match are all the same as the search name. So there you go. We added 2 entries just by putting in some basic information. So it's still a work in progress. Less than 24 hours ago, I had no idea how to use Python. I barely knew how to use SQL statements. So for an hour or so worth of work, and it's coming along nicely. And I'm going to keep fine-tuning it and working on it and seeing what I can do to make it look a little nicer and make it a little easier for you. And then I will package it up as an exe file. So on your Windows computer, you would just put that exe file on the SD card in the same folder as the game's database. And first you take your SD card out of your cabinet and put it into your SD card reader. Then you put that exe in the same folder as the game's database and double click it, and then it would open up the program, and you just input all those things I talked about, and it'll add the games for you. And then the second half will be you still need to add the ROM to the correct folder as well as the movie file to the correct folder. But at least I figured this would make it a little easier for you guys and easier for myself as well for adding games. Hopefully somebody will come up with an automated way to do it. However, that's way beyond my skill. So right now, I at least came up with this to make things a little easier. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more updates, and I will share this program and the code when it's actually worth sharing. Alright guys, and as always, game on my friends.